Hello and welcome to a very special episode of the Runna Podcast. We are recording live here from Runna HQ in Vauxhall, London, with a live audience. I am one of the Runna coaches, Coach Ben, and one of the co-founders of Runna.
And I am Coach Anya, also a coach here at Runna and an elite marathon runner. And today we are talking to one of the greatest, 2 times Olympic gold medalist, most decorated Olympic triathlete, and recently turned marathon runner, Alex Yee.
And not only that, we also have some very, very exciting exclusive news to share with you later on this episode. And before we get into it, I'd love to do a big thank you to Coros, who are kindly sponsoring today's episode. And whether you're an elite athlete like Alex, or whether you're chasing your own personal goals, Coros gives you the accuracy, sleep tracking, and HRV insights to get you there. But otherwise, nothing more to do other than welcome the greatest of all time, Alex Yee, to the hot seat.
Thanks for the intro.
Hey, Alex, thank you so much for coming back on the Runna Podcast. For those that didn't listen to our first recording, I think that was last year, we'd love a whistle-stop tour of what got you into triathlon and running in the first place.
Yeah, thanks for having me back on. Bit surreal doing this in front of a live audience, but yeah, very cool. I started triathlon when I was 9 years old, so I tried out it was called a Coros Kids of Steel event. My dad took me down because he was doing the sport, or doing duathlon, so not quite triathlon. And yeah, he brought me down, and I was doing lots of different sports before that, but there was something about triathlon which I think it was initially just not being able to kind of master all three straight away, and the challenge of that and the excitement of that, which just kept me bringing me back. And then, yeah, I guess through there, I've just naturally kind of progressed, and then was lucky enough to go to 2 Olympics now, and yeah, be able to call myself world and Olympic champion. So, yeah.
Wow,
very surreal.
It really is an incredible journey, especially to where you have got to, and that's only really at the start of a very exciting career. I guess, really, when you were getting started, what is it that kept you going? Was it that you were better than everyone else when you were young? Or what was it that kept you going when you were doing 9 and getting started?
No, that definitely wasn't the best when I was growing up. I think for me, the excitement's always been the internal drive of kind of trying to make the most of the gift I feel like I've been given. And I've just loved that kind of pursuit and that challenge. And for me, I feel like if you're trying to beat somebody else, and if that's your goal, then I feel like that has a means to an end. Whereas if you're trying to push yourself to new limits, to new heights, then there's no limit to that. You become limitless, in my opinion. And that excitement and that drive, I feel like, has kept me coming back and kept me excited, get me out of bed. And I feel like it's the same for everyone. Like, everyone can have that same kind of mantra, that same kind of belief in themselves and push themselves. So I think, yeah, that's how I can kind of also synergize with other people as well.
So always just striving to be the best version of yourself and beat yourself rather than not worry about the competition.
Yeah, doing my best.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I'm a human being as well. I still have days where I struggle to get out of bed. But I also, I feel like that kind of discipline and that kind of love for the sport has just always kept me coming back and enjoying it.
And when you were young, was it a very equal relationship between the swim, bike, and the run, or was there any that you took an early shining to?
I didn't take a shine to the swim, definitely not. I wasn't a kind of swim club swimmer, which is kind of where a lot of the other triathletes have come from. So that's always been a challenge. It's been a kind of a love-hate relationship between us. I think we talked about in a stigma area void last time between the 3 disciplines. But yeah, I think running I've always taken to the most naturally. And when I was kind of 15, 16 years old, I'd started triathlon, but I was actually doing significantly better within athletics competitions. I'd come 6th in the world, and over my age group, alongside a lot of people who now are in the Olympics and doing great things. So for me, there was definitely a point where I could have potentially sided with just going into individual sport, but like I said, that that kind of drive and that excitement to kind of get out of bed. I couldn't see myself doing anything else but triathlon.
Did you have any role models in triathlon that like meant that you wanted to go on that path rather than stick to just running?
I think there definitely was, I guess, a fairly defining moment in 2012 of having the Olympics, the London Olympics, at our kind of at home, so close to where I was living. That kind of, I think, was definitely a kind of a canon event for me, and to be able to watch for free on the side of the road, watching so many amazing British athletes, watching Alistair and Johnny win their gold and bronze was amazing. To see Usain Bolt run his 100 meters was, absolutely breathtaking. So I think to kind of have that Olympics definitely lit a fire within me and started me asking questions about kind of, can I go on this Olympic journey, and what can I do?
And has that always led to the Olympics sitting at a very different level of prestige to all the other races that you'll do within a year and a 4-year cycle?
Yeah, definitely. I think that the Olympics for me has always been that kind of pinnacle of definitely triathlon, our sport, and for me that's always kind of been a big goal for me to kind of get there. And I guess as a child you dream of, you see the announcement of Tokyo being announced as the host venue and you think, oh, maybe I could be there, but you never kind of fully imagine that you could actually do it. So to kind of step on that start line and have that moment where you're standing there was definitely, a surreal moment just before we started.
And did you always like the short form triathlon? And when did you step up to the Olympic? Because you've ran like you can tell us what your first like 5K, it was faster than Mo Farah's at that age.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess I've always wanted to. Olympic distance has always been the kind of the distance that I fell in love with watching and watching in 2012 and so many years growing up watching those guys kind of fly past in that short course format has always been something which I've wanted to do. So that was kind of a no-brainer. But yeah, I mean, over throughout growing up, I was able to run at World Juniors and run faster than Mo, which I feel like is very surreal. It was, I think, 13:52 or something like that when I was 16 years old, 17 years old. So yeah, very, very surreal, but pretty cool.
I know we kind of covered it a little bit, but it is amazing that you weren't drawn down the route of running, given that you were so good at running. And like you said, you had this slight weakness in swimming. Yeah,
I mean, it's a funny story. I'd probably say that was quite a defining moment with somebody quite close to me who asked me a question, and he asked, in 5 years, what do you see yourself doing? And it was kind of in that moment where I didn't know what I was going to pick, and I said I can't imagine a life where I'm not waking up and swimming, biking and running. So I think that was quite a defining moment for me to realize that maybe that is something which I feel like I'm born to do, and I feel like I'm starting to fulfill that a little bit now, which is really rewarding.
And we're going to come on to talking more about where you've kind of come back a little bit more to the running. But before we do, I'd love to kind of chat more about during the last 2 Olympic cycles. Last time round, so before Paris, you got your first Olympic gold. How did that feel? Was that the greatest moment of your life?
It's still mad thinking that it was me that did it, if that makes sense. Like, I still can't quite believe that I'm the person that's going to this Olympics and doing that. And I think particularly in Tokyo, because there was no crowds, we were going through this mad format of having to do COVID tests twice a day. It just felt very surreal in a way to kind of be doing that. But I definitely remember a moment after the individual race where I was lucky enough to come second behind Christian, and we'd just laid all our medals on the table, ready to do our press conference. And I remember that particularly in that Olympics, that the gold medal was very shiny and very beautiful, and thinking, I'd love one of those. And luckily we were able to come back and do the mixed relay format for the first time ever. And I was able to bring it home on that last leg, and yeah, it was very, very surreal.
Does it help doing it in a team? Like, did you feel like you had to, do it for the team?
Oh, the stress of going last leg when the team's led all the way was pretty insane. But I remember actually before just kind of having a kind of breathless moment where I was speaking to one of the support staff and I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do, this kind of stuff. And then they kind of just said to me, it's normal, your heart's beating because you're a human being and you're going to do this and you've worked hard. And I always feel like in those relay events, you kind of are able to push yourself to new limits because you train as an individual, but you see how hard each of those guys work within the team, and you're kind of fighting for something bigger. You're fighting for your nation, and yeah, to cross that finish line was really, really special.
I guess those start line nerves are the same nerves that everyone has when they start their 5K race or their marathon. And like you said, that is being a human. I guess you don't need to decide because the next Olympic you went on to get the individual gold. But when you had that team gold and a second place solo, was there ever thoughts in your mind that you wish it was the other way around? Or how do you think about a team gold and a solo gold?
I was definitely proud of both, but I knew I'd finished the individual race knowing that I have more potential within me. And I think that was something which excited me over the next 3 years. It was kind of uncovering what I can do, what can I unpick specifically towards Paris, which could give me a chance of being able to race for that gold medal. And yeah, it was lots of really random things, different things compared to Tokyo. Tokyo was, we call them silver bullets. Each event, there's something which is special about an Olympic Games and a course, which makes it unique, and that was the heat. For Paris, it was all about the Seine and navigating, of course, dirty water, but also an extremely strong current, which people may have been able to see within the race, but may not have been able to see that we were actually going out on that first buoy faster than anyone was swimming in the pool at the Olympics, and then coming back kind of slower than any recreational swimmer would probably be swimming in the pool. So to kind of navigate that was actually very different, and I had to completely reconstruct my stroke to do that, and that took 2 years. So to be able to invest that time and have that opportunity, I feel like really made a difference.
And did you stand on that start line at Paris knowing you had it in the bag? Like, how confident were you with your training from the past 3 years?
I would say I felt at peace with whatever was going to happen that race. I feel like I'd given everything I could to that one day, that one race. And I've always talked about the Olympics actually being about optimizing rather than maximizing what you can do, because we'd actually raced on exactly the same course in what we call our test event the year before, and Hayden and I had run 30 seconds quicker over the 10K in that race compared to what we did at the Olympics. And it's the Olympics for us, we go from a stage of, say 100,000 people watching us to 100 million people watching us. And that kind of exponential viewership brings pressure and brings those nerves, and it's as much about the person who's able to kind of be in control of what they're doing, be able to race under that pressure, which I think makes people able to deliver those races.
And that pressure must be enormous and hard for any normal person to imagine. Are you able to enjoy it? Like, are you reflecting on that solo Olympic gold medal? Was there a moment within that where you even paused to think and check in with yourself? Or are you just focused on the mission? Because if I go and do a park run, I might check in with my body and think about how I'm feeling. I might do the same in a marathon. But are you even giving yourself a chance for that? And are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I feel like the way I did it didn't help to being able to enjoy it, if that makes sense. It was all very last minute, so that made it definitely harder to enjoy, but also made it, I would not change that for the world. It was such an amazing moment. But yeah, there were definitely kind of landmarks throughout the race where I was able to kind of check in with myself. And for me, one of the most important things when I'm racing is that I'm present. and I'm living in the moment. And for me to have those moments where I'm like, I'm here now, I'm racing the Olympics, but also kind of what's next for me, what's the best thing I can be doing in this situation. And to have those moments, I think is super important for me to be able to kind of race to the best of my ability, but also live, because I'm racing in Olympic Games. It's an experience which I know I'm so fortunate to be able to do, and I want to make the most of that and enjoy it.
I kind of forgot, but didn't the day of the Olympics triathlon get moved? How do you deal with that, like, extra stress and the pressure? You were just talking about, like, nerves. Do you have any techniques to, like, overcome any of that?
Oh, that was the most surreal thing ever. Waking up, we had to wake up at 3:30 a.m. and you checked your phone, and you had an email, basically telling you whether the Olympic Games was going to be on or not. I think I shared it on my Instagram. We literally got an email saying, it's not on today, go back to bed. And you're like, well, are you sure? Should we definitely do that? Or so I remember texting my coach, like, it's definitely off, yeah. And he was like, yeah, go back to bed. We'll check again. It was meant to be on Friday. So our initial race was meant to be on Monday. It was meant to be delayed till Friday. We wake up the next morning, 3:30 a.m. You're racing today. So you have to be able to kind of deal with those moments, but you have a choice at that point. You can either be upset about it, or you can kind of just deal with it and kind of allow yourself that kind of headspace to be able to bring yourself back in the room and say, okay, what can I do?
You didn't think about sending a few emails the next day to all your rivals to say, it's off again?
Yeah, I should have done that. Imagine me just on the start line by myself.
So you get the second Olympic gold medal. And you mentioned already that, like, you can't imagine a life without swim, bike, run. And you set your sights on a new goal. What was that, and how did it go?
Yeah, I mean, I was able to achieve one of my lifelong goals of being able to win the Olympics, and then the same year win the World Championships as well, which is something which had eluded me for 3 or 4 years. I'd been on the podium a few times, and then just fallen short. So yeah, I decided to embark on a new mission, a new adventure, and that was to run the London Marathon, which has always been a really, I would say, important race for me because of the significance it's had throughout me growing up. Always being there racing the London Mini Marathon, but also kind of staying after and realizing the significance of the event, not only the elites, but also the mass participation and the amount of good which comes from that event. And I think particularly in the world we live in, I feel like the London Marathon is one of those days where our nation comes together and we're able to celebrate, you know, how amazing we are. And I feel like that's particularly important now. And it was amazing to be part of it.
Did you have a goal going into this first London Marathon? Because you did very well.
Yeah, I think the first goal was to enjoy it. It was an important race for me. It's a bucket list race for me as much as it is for anyone else. So I think the key thing was to enjoy that experience, to soak it all up. But yeah, second of all, I probably had a bit of a small time goal of running around under 2:10, which I missed. But I said it in my Instagram post of, you know, I missed my goal, but I had the best time doing it. And I feel like that is the most important thing about, you know, time goals and experiences, is that, you know, I missed my time goal by a minute, but I had an amazing time. I was able to soak up that experience. I was able to be present. I feel like that's far more important than any time that's going to be written down in history.
And you ran a debut marathon in 2 hours, 11 minutes and 8 seconds, which is completely ridiculous. You came 14th in the biggest marathon in the world and the second fastest Brit. So hopefully still a good day out.
Yeah.
How does it compare in terms of how hard it is and how painful it is mentally and physically running that marathon and that time to your Olympic gold final in Paris?
The marathon is definitely something I've never experienced before, ever. The feeling in your legs, kind of that last 5 kilometers where, you're just on the edge all the time. Each step is like, am I going to survive this step? Am I going to survive this step? and it's such a roller coaster. I feel compared to triathlon, of you feel like you're kind of on top of the world when you start. You kind of have that downhill through the first 5K, which feels really nice, but you know it's going to pay later. And then you kind of come through and you go through Tower Bridge. You have that sudden resurgence of energy again, and then you go for a bit of a bad patch through Canary Wharf, and then you're brought back up in the mile. But I feel like, yeah, I wouldn't have changed it for the world. And it was it's more than just a race in a way. I feel running a marathon, it's a bit of a, I don't know, I'm getting a bit deep here, but like a little bit of a spiritual thing of you find a little bit more about yourself. And I've definitely, been able to understand myself a little bit better in a way which sounds a bit weird. But yeah, it is really true from running it.
And if you had to pick one, which is harder?
I'm going to say the marathon right now. I think that it's because I tried to do it in 5 months, which is probably a little bit more ambitious than the kind of 16, 17 years I've been doing triathlon. But yeah, it was hard. It was the last 3-4K was really tough, but I just found myself at so many points getting so emotional just with how special the event was and how amazing the crowd were, how personable they were as well. They were all kind of cheering for me or cheering British athletes.
You looked pretty good when you went past the runner cheer stand at the mile 21 it was.
I don't know, but mate, that was probably my undoing around that kind of distance. But yeah, I'm just like everyone else, I think, in that.
So we've got some stats from your Coros watch from the training block.
Okay.
So your easy recovery pace. I mean, this is the pace that you're out running, you're a bit tired from a big training session. Maybe imagine what you think Alex Yee's recovery pace would be. It's 4 minutes and 1 second per kilometre. So that's basically a 20-minute 5K for an easy recovery run. Is that really easy to you?
Well, yeah, the Coros has said it, so yeah, I think that. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Sorry, I guess.
Super. And when it comes to your easy runs, are you running always at the similar paces, or are you listening to your body each day? How do you decide the pace to run at each day?
So that actually changed for the marathon. I think each run within the marathon became a lot more purposeful than potentially it was when I was doing triathlon. When I was doing triathlon, I was a lot more kind of go with feel and just kind of go with the flow with that kind of stuff. Whereas with the marathon, because I was coming into the kind of elite side with a lot of a lower volume compared to many others who are going in excess of 100 miles now, I was kind of doing 130, 140 at most K. I had to make every run count. So I had to have a little bit more purpose when it came to leaving the door, to my heart rate, to my pace, which is, where it was great to have the Coros and that kind of feedback all the time.
Your threshold pace is even more ridiculous, of 3 minutes and 1 second per kilometre, which is the equivalent of running a 2 hour and 7 minute marathon, which is truly crazy. But I think the most crazy stat is your max heart rate of the final sprint of London Marathon, which I think justifies that 2:11 was pretty hard work, that you ran down the mile at 195 beats per minute. And is that the kind of the highest heart rate you've seen this year?
Not this year, no, but definitely at the end of a marathon. I think it's good that I could get my heart rate that high, but it also shows hopefully that there's a little bit more there that we can uncover, but we'll see what happens. Yeah.
And the final crazy stat, which I think justifies just how much work you put in to being as good as you are, is that this year so far, we have 447 hours of running and cycling recorded on your Coros, which is truly remarkable, and I think just speaks for the sheer commitment and consistency that it takes to be able to run the times that you have done. But what comes next? You've ran a 2:11 time at London Marathon. You've done your 2 gold medals at the Olympics. What do you want to achieve next? What is next in the world of Alex Yee?
Yeah, I think my big goal fundamentally is to kind of stand on the start line in LA in 2028, feeling like I'm well, hopefully I've made the Olympics first of all, but secondly, feeling like I'm ready to kind of race the ultimate race that I want to race. And I feel like Paris was an amazing day, was really special, but I feel like I still left a little bit out there on the course that I could hopefully uncover, and that's excited me, and that's kind of led me to kind of come into the marathon and working on my run, something I haven't been able to do for 5 years, and definitely finishing that first marathon left me kind of asking questions about, and also learning so much about it that, you know, I couldn't not do another one, so I'm going to race Valencia Marathon at the end of this year, which is going to be really, really fun. And I'm also going to race the Valencia Half Marathon as well, which is, yeah, I'm looking forward to.
That's the exclusive.
Yeah.
How has the world of triathlon like reacted to your running? Do they think, will they know that you're going to do a few more, or did they think it was one and done? Like, was it all positive?
Yeah, no, I think that everyone's been really nice and receptive about it. I think it's hopefully shown a little bit of respect for our sport, that, you know, that you have to really be at the top level of these sports to be competitive. And I'm sure you're kind of transitioning a little bit into doing a little bit of triathlon, and yeah, I mean, you're running the fastest splits, of course, but it just shows that kind of the level that it takes to get to that point in our sport. And I think, yeah, everyone seems to be supportive.
I think the fact that you want to go on and beat your time of 2 hours and 11 minutes, hopefully in Valencia, does it not make you almost wonder where you can go if you were to focus more on the running? Like, LA, do you want to line up on the marathon start line?
Who knows? I wouldn't. I would say that this Olympic cycle is all about triathlon. I know that there's potentially chance that the World Championships is going to come to London in 2029. That could be an amazing thing to be part of. But yeah, who knows? That's a long, long time away. And for me, yeah, of course, I've just got my eyes set on this next marathon coming up, and hopefully, yeah, just being the best athlete I can be there.
And do you have a goal for both the half and the full marathon?
I think I said, I went through halfway at London in 64:15, so I'd like to do something similar in Valencia, but hopefully negative split, but we'll see. So yeah, I feel like that would make the marathon a much more positive experience than doing a big positive split.
And how is training going?
It's going okay. Yeah, I mean, I've just come off doing a triathlon race in the French Riviera, which was really fun, and nice to be back doing that. But yeah, now eyes are fully focused on the marathon, getting up to volume. Going to be around 135k this week, so kind of keep pushing on and yeah, see where we can take it.
You keep mentioning how special it is racing in London. You just mentioned potentially 2029 in London. And you were saying that you've learned more about yourself racing in London, but I think people have been so inspired watching you and have learned so much about themselves and, yeah, been so inspired. And I think that's ultimately, yeah, like what we all want to do. And I think I wanted to talk to you basically about Lewisham to the world, and what that means to you and how that is inspiring the people, especially around London, and why it's so special.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, thanks. That's so nice to hear. But yeah, Lewisham, growing up for me, felt like this amazing playground, this place where I was able to seek out lots of different opportunities, to be able to access lots of different sports, lots of different things, whether it was performing arts or, yeah, lots of other academic opportunities. And I want people to be able to have that same opportunity that I feel like I was able to have as a young person growing up there. And I go back now, and I'm unfortunately not able to see those opportunities at the moment. And for me, that kind of gave me that kind of urgency and that impetus to want to make a difference within that. And that's why Lewisham to the World kind of came up. It's always been something which I've said within kind of Instagram captions and stuff, but I really want to kind of showcase to young people that they can also do the same thing. And the goal is to use success stories to fuel success stories within Lewisham. So given those giving those young people the opportunity to try something that someone's been successful at, whether that's music, whether that's sport, other academic ventures. And we had the first one, which was the Alex Yee triathlon, which was really, really cool. We had 800 kids able to try a triathlon for the first time, but also go away with a goodie bag with 13 different leaflets of 13 different things that they could try over the summer holidays, ranging from drama to art to music to lots of different sports. So for me, that's something which is really important to me, and I really want to give back that opportunity to them, which I feel like I was able to have.
I think it's truly amazing and truly inspiring. And I think next time it won't just be the Alex Yee triathlon, but it'll have to be the Alex Yee marathon as well.
That would be a bit mean to the kids, I think, making them do a marathon.
We're going to move on to some of our lighter-hearted, sillier this or that's. I think last time round we got you swimming in a suit or something like that. So we'll stick to the straight and narrow this time. Would you rather run an Ironman tomorrow or have the month to train and then you need to run the Marathon des Sables, which is a 5-day ultra marathon in the desert?
I'd do the Ironman tomorrow all day.
Annie, what about you?
An Ironman tomorrow. I'd quite like to.
I feel like it would be quite fun if you did it at your
yeah.
own pace. Just maybe not the marathon, but
Nice. Okay. Unanimous. Would you rather win the Valencia Marathon in 2 hours and 4 minutes, okay, or win the gold medal in LA?
win the gold medal.
He's like,
That's
it's
not
no
even
question.
close.
Wow. Even though that's something that you've already proved that you have, whereas you want a sub 2:10. We're
Yeah,
offering you 6 minutes faster.
Yeah. You're bargaining with me now. I feel like it would have to be the way I win the LA Gold, which would be the thing which would be important for me. It would be the fact that I was able to deliver the race, which I feel like I was capable of delivering and I worked towards, rather than being something else. But I think for me, it would have to be that. The Olympics is just different gravy.
Fair enough. This one then might be an interesting one. Would you rather have the next 2 or 3 years, the next Olympic cycle, full of phenomenal success, you win every race, gold medal at the end of it, and then can no longer enjoy sport, your body hurts, running and cycling doesn't quite feel right for a lifetime, or have the next 10 years of very average performances.
Oh,
you don't win any
gosh.
more Olympic medals, you race, you retire slowly, and you get to enjoy running, cycling, swimming for a lifetime. What are you picking?
Whew. I think enjoyment would be my selection. I feel like I feel like the sport, I started this sport for enjoyment. I started it for the passion of it, for the love of it, and I don't think that's changed one bit throughout my journey in the sport, and I wouldn't want that to change at all. I can be at peace with whatever results kind of come from now, but I feel like I would never be at peace if I was kind of giving that all up to,
Well, the good news is you don't have to choose.
Yeah.
You can have both.
Hopefully, but we'll see.
And our final question we like to ask all of our guests is to design their dream race. And we have asked you this before, but maybe after a new experience in the world of sport, it might have changed. So what would your dream race be? Where would it be? What food and drink will be served at the finish line? And who would present you with your award?
I need to change it up now, because last time it was Lewis Hamilton, wasn't it, giving out the awards. And
Well, I guess, is it a run or a triathlon?
yeah, I feel like I would do the London Marathon, but everyone can race. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously so many people are missing out on the ballot now. We've got to do it for everyone who hasn't experienced London Marathon, so they can experience the London Marathon.
So it's like a week-long, 300,000 runners.
Each day is 100K people.
If
just going
your
through.
name's like A to F, you do it on the Monday.
Yeah.
F to M is like the Tuesday.
If
I'm
you're a
racing.
Runner subscriber, you can get in.
No, but I'm having to race both of you. We're in the A to F. Anyway, so accessible London Marathon. Any
Yeah.
amends? Any
amends?
route choices you would want to reroute?
Probably take out Canary Wharf,
Oh,
I
yeah.
reckon. Canary Wharf is... We can go somewhere else. We'll go around South London a little bit more. Nice
Maybe-
tour of Lewisham,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
we'll come out.
So true.
We do a little bit of Lewisham anyway, but... what else? I think that would be...
Food and drink at the finish line.
I think that can't change. I think big dim sum for everyone. We're all sitting around, lots of big tables. I think that'd be nice.
Drink?
Drink, Fanta, but like lots of different selections of Fanta. So we've got like
European Fanta.
yeah, it just
You
tastes
love
better, doesn't
European
it?
Fanta.
I've heard it now from the goat. I've had my Fanta obsession validated.
Yeah, I feel
What's
like-
your favourite Fanta flavour?
Mine is between. Have you ever had the elderflower and the pineapple? Those two.
See, I rank pineapple 5 or 6.
Wow.
Do
And an orange has got to be top 3 anyway. I feel.
you like the exotic?
It's okay, yeah, but is that like the lilt flavour?
That's
that
kind of
used
the
to be?
green can.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever had that. To be fair.
Oh, I'll bring you a selection.
Yeah.
And who, I'm cutting that off. And who would present you with your awards? Founder of Fanta.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it would just have to be. I'd make it so it's somebody important to each of the individual persons. So before it was Lewis Hamilton, but he can go to the side now, and it can be like each person gets to pick somebody who's important to them.
All 300,000 runners. we now need 600,000.
It's more than 300,000
people.
runners,
So,
isn't it?
it's a million.
So we've got a
need
queue of just like
we need,
people
we
just
need
coming.
a million people running the marathon and a million people giving out the award.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad
There
you
you
don't
go.
run a logistics company.
Runner can make it happen, surely.
Well, there we are. That is a wrap. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for joining. And a huge thank you for Alex making time in his incredible schedule and sharing such exciting news of the rest of your year's race calendar.
No, thank you very much for coming down, guys. Appreciate it.